y'all, how are you today? I thought I would get on here and talk to you about something I seen that, don't mind my hair. I was in the wind and I didn't want to go comb it before I got on here. But anyway, I was wondering how many of you have ever, a lot of people take vacations, right? Well, how many of you have ever thought about taking a vacation on a train, like Amtrak? And what gave me this idea is that one of my daughter-in-laws in Florida, when we lived in Georgia, we were trying to get the time to get together and take her kids to on a little train ride from Jacksonville, Florida, and I can't remember where it went. It was a couple of hour train ride, and I didn't even know they had those, okay? I knew they had Amtrak where you could go from state to state, but I didn't know you could, tour on Amtrak. But anyway, so then I started thinking yesterday, I was reading my AARP magazine, and they were talking about it. Guys, they have some neat stuff in here. So let's go. Let me see what did I find here that seemed interesting. Okay, first of all, Amtrak, they gave a trains versus plane for your trip. Okay, so let's go over that first. So the trains, they have Amtrak Northeast Regional Coach, and it takes the number of seats per car are 72, and on a jet, a United Boeing 737-800 version 1, they have 48 Economy Plus and 102 Economy Coach cabin seats. Okay, well, that's the seats. And then you can compare the seat configuration. 2 on each side of the aisle in the train car, and 3 on each side of the aisle in a plane. Okay? And then the width of the seats in the train are 23 inches. And the seat widths are 16.3 to 17.3 inches in the coach. Yeah. Seat pitches are 39 inches on the train and 34 inches in Economy Plus and 30 inches in Economy. I never knew all this stuff. Number of restrooms. You have 2, including one that is ADA compliant, which is disability compliant, in each car, supposedly. Check on that, though. Don't take my word for it. There's 1 in the front of the plane and 2 in the back of the plane, supposedly. Okay? These are all your modern conveniences as you take your little vacations. Okay, number of attendants. Generally 1 conductor and at least 1 assistant conductor for the entire train, plus a cafe car service attendant. Now, in the plane, you usually have 4. Okay, you have power outlets both on the train and both in Economy Plus, but, oh no, you have it in Economy Plus, but not in Economy. How about that? I didn't even know that. Okay, Wi-Fi is available on many trains and complimentary, although service can be spotty during travel. And if you want to use Wi-Fi on the plane, it's $8 to $10 per flight. Okay, so that was some of the stuff that I seen here, and let me tell you the rest of it because I found this so interesting, guys. I really did, and I think I'm gonna go with Bert one day, hopefully soon. Okay, they gave some cool places to go to with the train. They gave Rocky Mountaineer between Denver, Colorado and Moab, Utah. And they said it was called the One Night Rockies to the Red Rocks route travel through the southwest from mid-April to mid-November. Okay. And then you have Amtrak's Empire Builder between Chicago and the Pacific Northwest. And then Glacier Express, Switzerland. Yeah, Switzerland. Okay. And Via Rails, the Canadian, between Toronto and Vancouver. I didn't know any of this. I really didn't. I mean, I didn't know they did like tours of, different places. The Canadian trip between Toronto and Vancouver is 2,500 miles across Canada. It's a 4-night trip, taking in Ontario and the prairies of Manitoba. That is pretty cool, guys. And I was checking their, I didn't do it this time, like lately. I was checking their prices, and it wasn't that bad at all. It really wasn't. Hey, all us old ladies ought to get together and just meet each other at a certain platform, Go on a train ride. What do you think? Okay. Amtrak Down Easter between Boston, Massachusetts and Brunswick, Maine. I would be interested in that one. Then we got the Denali Star that goes between Anchorage and Fairbanks, Alaska. And then they tell you that when you check your bags, okay, travelers generally can check up to 4 bags, 2 free and 2 at $20, okay? And you can bring 1 person on 2 carry-on bags for size. There's size and weight limits on those, though. I guess probably they're talking like totes, that you would bring on the Amtrak. They say that it's a check-in at the train is like a breeze compared to the check-in at the airports. I find that true. And I have, let's see, I was on the Amtrak one time, and I was a kid. I think I went to go visit my father, and I was about 10 maybe, and my brother was like 13. Yeah, that's the only time, and it was from Chicago to Elgin, Illinois, I think, and then Elgin back to Chicago. But that's the only time I was on an Amtrak. Okay, let's see what else I got here. It just basically tells you bring your slippers, chargers, batteries, for your electronic devices. Sleeping cars may lock only from the inside, so when you leave it for a meal or the restroom, your door is unlocked, so you got to consider that. But you can bring a travel pillow, a blanket, an eye mat, snacks and drinks, headphones, and toiletries. They also have dining cars. I thought that was just in the movies. That's what I did. These moving restaurants are typically available on long-distance trains. Well, that's pretty cool. And it says, they're giving you tips here, okay? They said the tip is choose a seat on the side of the train opposite the sun to avoid glare while viewing or photographing the scenery. Now, this comes from AARP. I'm not promoting AARP. I just thought it was really interesting because we all wanted to go take the kids on a ride, and I didn't even know they did that. Unless you were going to travel somewhere. Okay. They have sleeper cars, observation cars, passenger cars, dining cars. Guys, this sounds great. I mean, just think of how much you can see on your train out the window. Because when you're up in the sky, I mean, I've had to take flights before, and I never flew very much at all anyway. But, unfortunately, my very first flight, and I kid you not, my very first flight was exactly 1 month before 9/11. And I think I had one more flight after that when my daughter passed away, and that was it. And I didn't even want to go that time because I just didn't want to get on that plane, you know. But anyway, and now they have so many people fighting on the planes. I'm like, over stupid crap, you know. It's like, are you kidding me? Not that they can't fight on the, on the trains, because, you know, obviously they can do that too. But I think, I don't know, I think it would be more comfortable to be in one of the train cars than a plane. I just think it would, because, I mean, I wasn't that overweight years ago when I was on a plane, but man, it was uncomfortable. Those seats were made for teenagers going to college that are very skinny. My opinion, guys, just my opinion. But I just thought I would come on here and just throw that out and see if anybody was interested in that, and if they ever did it, and if you did, let me know in the comments where you went, what you thought about it, any bad things, good things, things you've seen. That would be great. Because, you know, at our age, we need to go places where we're not driving, you know, not because we're old and we can't drive, because, I mean, I can drive. It's just that I've done it all my life. I took my kids to school, went to work every day, went to school myself at night, you know, and now I just want somebody else to drive for a while. So let me know. Don't forget, make sure you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. My hair is not always like this. Let's see. Thumbs up, subscribe. Oh, hit the bell so you'll get all our videos. And share us out. Share us out to your over 50 community. And go check out Cynthia. Oh, what's her channel name? Cynthia at Senior. Oh, God. I'll put it up here, guys, because you know me. I got too much going on. One thing in here and out here. I love y'all. You have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.